Alright, this is Dark0, and I'm back with another one of my Gw2 video tutorials, and today I want to touch on the topic of resurrecting or resing of teammates or allies. Now, what exactly this process is the process of bringing a player from the down or defeated state back into the realm or the basic fighting state of the game. At the moment I'm on my Azure and Ellie, and with me I have a guilty of mine, Silence as we call him, on his teeth. He's going to help me demonstrate some of the finer points of exactly what I want to talk about in my video today. When a player goes down, you will see this symbol above their head and on your map.
I owe you one.
When a player is resurrected from the down state, they are revived with 20% of their maximum HP. Also, the more people that assist at resing a down character, the faster the process is completed. Also, when you revive or when you are raised, you have 1 second of invulnerability where you take no damage. When a character or an allied player is defeated, that means they have died from being in the down state, you will see the little Quirkic image above their character, as well as you will see a blue skull on your map. This will signify that a player has died and needs to be resurrected. It takes really long to revive a player that has been defeated, as you can see it's not going to quite as fast as it would if it was down. And that little blue symbol next to their name indicates they have 1 second of invulnerability, meaning they can't die. So they have the 2 kinds of symbols as you saw, the little Quirkic kind of down pointing arrow, and then the blue skull on the map. You'll also see the little arrow-like icon on your map as well for down players. Now, the next thing I want to touch on is safe and unsafe aspects of reviving a down player. Alright, unsafe resurrecting is the aspect of trying to res a down player when you have no form of self-protection whatsoever. And by doing this, you would often end up in the down state yourself. And this could lead to both you and your teammate or ally becoming down to another
I give up.
non-desirable position, I may say so myself. So that is what I would consider a unsafe method of resing or resurrecting your ally, which means not using any skills or abilities to ensure or guarantee that you'll be able to get both you and your teammate back on their feet. So that's unsafe resurrecting, and I will explain safe methods of resurrection here in a moment. Now, safe methods of resurrection, one of the safe methods is using your character's skills or ability to perform a nice res on a fellow team member. Now, Tyler is going to get down here in a minute from this crowd of fireflies, I'm hoping, and I'm going to demonstrate one of the methods for an elemental to perform a safe res even at a low level such as 16. Now we go over, we hit res, and we hit misform. This makes a character invulnerable, so I would take no damage from the pack of Firefly 5 performance res. And that's just one of the many ways that characters can perform a resurrection of a teammate in a safe manner without getting down themselves. That is an example of a safe method of resurrection. Now here in a minute I'm going to go over a rather short section of skills and abilities one can use to perform or increase their chances of resurrecting an ally member. Now some of the other ways you can stealthily resurrect a teammate or ally is by utilizing skills. And most of these skills I'm going to talk about are what people consider crowd controls or CCs. The first one I want to talk about is Daze, and what Daze does is it interrupts your foe and makes it where they cannot attack for 1 second, and it looks like this. Alright, I'm using the Ellie's Conjure Summoning Earth Shield, which has the Daze on its third skill, Magnetic Surge. So if you have a downplay, you're trying to daze opponents so they stop attacking that downplay, it will look something like this, just for example. And then facing up down for 2 seconds. And then two mobs won't be able to attack during that time frame. Also, another form of crowd control will be fear, which Necromancer has quite a few fears in their utilities and skill set. And what fears does is it causes your foe to run directly away from you. So if you toss that down after you're running to an ally that needs to be rezzed, it would make it where the mob or foe will not be able to continue harming your teammates or yourself while you're playing this res. Also, conditions like blind or another good way to res an ally is blind and foes as well as mobs as the next attack. Another form of crowd control a player can use to res or help res an ally is a pull, which either pulls you to them or them to you. In a Necromancer's perspective, their pull is spectral grabs and will pull the target from wherever it's at to you and apply chill. This allows your ally to res safely or allows you to pull incoming damage away. The next form of crowd control a player can use to res an ally will be a knockdown. We perform this with a Necromancer elite called Flesh Golem, and his command is a charge that knocks down foes within its path. And a knockdown interrupts foes' actions, as well as makes them unable to move for the duration of the crowd control or CC. Now this next one is called a knockback or a push, and it moves your foe directly away from you, or in this case your ally, and it pushes them back like this. And also interrupt, action. Another one is called a stun. It interrupts. Defense, then offense. And it looks like that. Now the last and final form of crowd control you can use to help resin ally or help your allies res another ally is what is called a launch. A launch is similar to a pushback, except instead of sending them directly back, it more or less flings them into the air in some form or direction. And with the Guardian, you can find your pushback or launch on your hammer 4, and it looks something like this. And it will disable the foe and fling them back.
Stand your ground!
Now, just a quick summary of all the crowd controls I've went over are daze, which interrupts and prevents skill use. Fear, causes your foe to run directly away from you and interrupts. Knockback, knockdown, interrupts and causes your foe to be unable to move or use skills. Launch, interrupts and tosses your foe into the air. Pull, closes the gap between you and your foe, pulling either you to your foe or your foe to you. Push, knocks back your foe, sends directly away from the source. And stun, which completely disables the target anywhere from 1 to 2 seconds, and they're unable to use skills, move, or also interrupted. The best type of crowd controls to use, in my perspective, for resing of allies are push, fear, pull, and launch. And this is because they move foes directly away from the downed ally. Now those are crowd control. The next type of abilities or skill sets I want to talk about are teleports and shadow steps. They're basically very similar in the way they function. The only difference is shadow steps are more or less exclusively to the thief, but they function the same as teleports. And the reason I want to bring up teleports when resing allies or friendly players is the fact that it moves you from point A, where you're standing now, to point B instantly. So you're able to cover ground in a relatively fast manner, so you can get to where you are right to your ally's side to press F and start performing a res and use any other skills and abilities you have brought with you to ensure that both you and your teammate come out of the encounter or battle alive. The next ones I want to talk about are more or less class abilities or traits. And traits. And here I'm on the Wikiki, and it has a list of traits that improve resurrecting. Guardian has 2, Protect, Revival, and Absolute Healer. The first one gives both you and your ally after they're revived Aegis, Regeneration, and Protection, which are 3 very good defensive boons. Absolute Healer creates a Shield of Absorption, which blocks all projectiles and lasts 3 seconds when you start to res. Warrior has 3. Determined Revival grants extra armor when you're performing a res. Fast Healer increases the revival speed, so you're able to res people faster when you have this as a warrior. And Revival Smite, when they're finally revived, it grants you, the down player, and everybody around you 1 stack of might. Rangers have 2, Trapper's Defense and Healer's Clarity. The first creates a spike trap, and the second grants both the ranger and the revived player swiftness. These have 1, creates an ambush trap. Ellie's have 1, increases the rival speed and gives both you and the down player a aurora based on your attunement when they're brought back. Medic's Feedback creates a feedback bubble, which works similar to Shield of Absorption. Necromancers have 2, Ritual of Life creates a well of blood when you revive them, and Mark Revival, which creates the mark that induces fear when you begin the revival. Also, there are some rune combinations you can use that mimic or some of the traits for rezzing, and that rune is called the Rune of Mercy. And as you see, with 2 of them on, you take less damage while reviving. With 4, you resurrect allies with 20% more health. So instead of being revived with the 25% of their maximum HP, it would be 45% of their maximum HP if you use these runes. And the 6, if you have all 6 of the runes on, you'll revive down allies 10% faster, similar to Warrior's Fast Healer. So these are traits and rune sets you can use to help the rival. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the actual skills used to revive a player. Alright, now the last section I want to cover is skills that directly resurrect a downed ally.
Oh, it's on now.
Talk about being late to the party. Alright, I have with me to assist on this point of rezzing a teammate or ally with your utility or rezzing skills. This is Lisa again from one of my previous videos, and she's from the guild Kittens with Claws. Right, now we're gonna find like a mob or two just to explain this point. As soon as Lisa goes down, I'm going to res her with my Signet of Undeath. This is the Necromancer's AoE resurrecting skill. Alright, Lisa's about to enter her down state on the fight for survival state. Alright, they're down. And it instantly makes them back to life. And they're able to keep on the fight. And as you can see, Lisa wanted to take vengeance on her aggressors, per se. Alright, now just some closing statements or some summary of my video is that rezzing allies is a fundamental part of Gw2, as there is no healers, there's no traditional healers where people basically set up to spam heal you so that you don't die. So rezzing is a fundamental point of the game. So applying this information, it will help make you a valuable asset to any team and allow you those epic saves of your teammates and friends. Thank you for watching my video, and I will see you all next time. Also, I would like to give special mention to my 2 helpers, Lisa from Kerr and Silence earlier on his thief, which he is from Digital Sacrifice, which is my home guild. Thank you very much, and you have a good one.